Hello world! You are listening to The Passion Show with Wizard on CFRU 93.3 FM. It is a do-it-together radio show all about passions and the people who have them. My name is Wizard.
I'm MISHA.
MISHA! Hey!
Hi, Wizard.
Welcome to the program.
Hello.
We're trying a whole new format today.
What's so different today?
Headphoneless.
No headphones.
Zero headphones. You wouldn't even know.
We're risking it all.
You wouldn't even know that that's different. You have no idea.
And yet here we are.
You have no idea what I've been through wearing these uncomfortable Audio-Technica clicky, clacky headphones. After 40 minutes, my ears are like, ouch, ouch, ouch.
Absolutely laden.
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. You freed me.
We're taking the baggage off.
Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
For freeing me and for being here.
Of course.
Well, what's your deal?
Today, I wanted to talk about slime mold and how it connects to basically everything, in my opinion.
Slime mold.
Yeah, my thesis is that it's a really great way to learn about learning.
Okay.
And I think that if everyone were to look at slime mold more often and think about it more often, we would really expand our own ways of being in the world.
What is slime mold, anyways?
Well,
for the listener, I know all about slime mold. But for these guys,
slime mold is categorized as a protist for the most part, which is a category which is essentially everything that we don't know what it is.
Okay. Oh, whoa. What?
I often describe it to
protist.
people as a unicellular organism, but that's not always true. There's some ways that it can be multicellular too, but I honestly don't know a whole ton about all of the exact sciences about it.
Sounds like neither does anyone.
This
is a protist.
Exactly. I just know that it's really cool and that it is not a fungus as you might think on first hearing that it is called a mold.
I simply always thought it was a fungus.
Exactly. It is not a fungus.
All right, duly noted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You got some notes here.
I have some notes.
You're one of the few Passion Show guests who takes this thing seriously.
As somebody who chronically is scared of forgetting, sometimes I need to have some notes over here.
I would just like to clarify. Now, if you're thinking about coming on the show, dear listeners, I was just kidding. You don't need to have notes. And if you're listening to this and you were a guest and you didn't bring notes, don't worry about it. Every guest is beautiful. Everyone who comes on the show is a poet. And everything that happens in this hour is intentional. It was meant to be. We're locking in. We're tapping in. We're dropping in. It just so happens that some people are meant to bring notes, which is nice for me because I can do this. He's leaning back in his chair. He is leaning back in his chair. We're sitting back. We have nice, comfy CFRU chairs, and I am leaning back in mine. So, Wizard, what do you know about slime molds? Take the wheel. Do you know anything about slime molds? I know how they look when I see them. How do they look? They look slimy. They are slimy. And they often are orange. Yep. And they make me feel good. This is true. They make me feel like I'm on a vast planet that I can't understand. Those are all great points. Very, very relevant. Yeah. They always, whenever I see them, I feel like I don't understand my surroundings as much as I thought I do, which I like. I think that's exactly what they're there to do. When all you can see is cedar trees, you're like, I get it. I see what's happening. I understand cedar trees. Fractals and fractals. But then you look at slime mold and you're like, never mind. Maybe I don't understand everything. Maybe there's just slime. It's just like slime. Bright slime that just exists. Like the blob. Yeah, like the blob. Mm-hmm. Like the blob. Like the attack of the blob. So that's of course, I when you asked what I know, I mostly just said how I feel. Vibes based. Classic artist's approach. Of course. That's what we're doing here today. Yeah, exactly. So it comes in a lot of different forms. It can look a lot of different ways, but okay. For the most part, I'm going to be just like us. Exactly, yeah. It has over 100,000 sexes, too. Wow. And again, not something I know a whole ton about, but it is basically sexless. It doesn't fit any kind of taxonomy. What's a taxonomy? Oh my god, I'm gonna be like a little baby boy. Categories of whether it's an animal or a fungus or an insect or something like that. Gotcha. It's just like a categorization. It's considered a protist because it's everything we don't really understand.
they've been on the planet for a very, very long time. I have a note here that says they first evolved at least 600 million years ago, and
Woof.
maybe even as long as 1 billion years ago.
Well, you said 600 million years ago?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's a long time,
That's a
guys.
really long time.
That's a long time. Imagine how many seasons have
Yeah.
happened since then.
Like roughly,
over.
like roughly 240 million. Wait, no, 2.4 billion seasons have occurred.
Something like it.
I wonder if there was a time in that part of Earth's history where seasons weren't as they are now.
Probably.
I mean, I
we
guess.
had the Ice Age and
Of course.
all of those.
But I mean, like, I wonder if during the Ice Age, like, summer still would be happening in some capacity.
I guess so.
Because it's not like the
Australia
Earth.
exists.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
Earth is still tilted. Like a part of it's still closer. So one would imagine it'd get a little warmer.
The orbit does funny things.
It's true. Anyways, this is just the nature of the show. Well, you listened to the summer episode.
And that, I mean, you got to go on some tangents.
You know,
and
we
that's
gotta-
what this
we
is
gotta
all
meander.
about. This is what this is all about. Slimemold
Perfect.
loves to go on tangents. It loves to meander, and I think that's something we can learn from it.
Yeah. When it grows, that's literally how it grows.
Exactly. So that was what the next thing I was going to say was as
perfect.
well, was that, like I said, it comes in a lot of different forms and appearances, and it can look a lot of different ways. If you want to see more about it, you can look at the subreddit for slime mold, or you can go to
r/slime
the
mold.
Facebook group for slime mold, which people post very beautiful photos of
It's
it.
probably called like slime mold appreciators or something.
I
like
actually think
that.
that's might be exactly what it's called.
Wow, look at me. I'm absolutely tapped into
Wizard
the
knows
Facebook
all.
group name universe.
You deserve the name Wizard because you do
Because
know
I
all.
can glean the
you
name
have
of
the hat
the
and
Facebook.
everything.
I do have the hat. Now that we're recording without headphones on, I could like wear the hat
Oh my god, you can wear the hat.
while we record.
It's a beautiful cap.
There's
really
a nice
important.
story to it. A kid made this for me.
Oh man,
A kid and his
well,
mom.
That's just precious.
Isn't that sweet?
That is sweet.
And now I get to wear it.
It's the best part of your uniform.
It is. It's a classic look that I'm going for.
It's classic Wizard.
I wear the same thing in every time I do this show. It's jeans, white V-neck, boom.
Well, that's a sign of a
No
genius.
shoes. We take the shoes, throw them to the side, say off with ye.
You get to standardize all of the silly decisions so that you can
Exactly.
expand in all the other ways.
Clearing things out so that I can focus up, like we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I don't have to worry about how I'm dressed, I can just be totally present.
There we go. And that's the nature of me having ADHD, and also just, we're freeballing.
Someone on the Passion Show with ADHD,
What
alert
a
the presses.
shocker.
Alert the presses. News flash.
But that's another reason I love the way that slime mold moves so much, because it shoots out like a bunch of tendrils, and it like builds in a network, and it kind of creeps along in this pulse. And that's how I like to imagine the networks in my brain, or even just in the things that I'm trying. It feels like you're following a path, and eventually you hit a dead end, and you kind of need to retreat and retract. And part of the way that you move through the world, or even learn any kind of skill, is that you're trying all of these things, but then you have to prune back at some point. So another really
Checkpoints.
cool...
You gotta leave yourself checkpoints.
Exactly.
You gotta do the yarn trick.
The yarn trick.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when you're following in a maze.
Yeah.
Well, that was another thing that I was going to talk about, is that they do a lot of cool experiments with slime mold where they make it do mazes. They like to feed it flakes of oats.
Okay.
Or like agar-agar, which is often what they use in the petri dish. But they'll put it
What's
in a maze.
agar-agar?
It's like vegan gelatin.
Yummy.
It's another gooey, slimy substance.
And gelatin is not vegan gelatin. What is gelatin made of?
Gelatin's...
Bones?
Yeah.
Ugh, nice.
It grows on your rotisserie chicken
Oh, sweet.
after you've left it in your fridge too
That's
long.
why you can make gravy.
Exactly.
And chicken broth.
Exactly.
Wow,
I was
look
really
at me.
freaked out the
I'm
first
putting
time
things
I
together.
saw the orange jello growing on my rotisserie chicken bones. It's really disturbing.
Agar-agar.
I already forgot what I was talking
You're talking about they
about.
feed it agar-agar.
Yeah, so they
And
make
so
it
it can do
mazes.
mazes. Yeah.
And another really cool thing about it, which is why I think it has the power to change the world, is because it has no brain, but it's really, really smart, and it has a memory.
Just like me for real.
Exactly. So again, like, it evolved so long ago, and at the time that it evolved, there was
600 million years?
600 million years ago, and perhaps as long
Perhaps
as
a
1
billion.
billion years.
That's so many.
No organisms had yet evolved brains or even simple nervous systems.
Wow.
But they do not blindly ooze from one place to another. They explore their environments and they seek efficient routes between resources. This part was a quote. That was not my words.
Okay.
But they
do we know who said that?
This is. Let me go back to the article.
Just someone.
Let me get the article.
This is intense.
Authored.
This is awesome. These are great notes.
But it's on the Scientific American website. It's by Ferris Jabber. Ferris. Thank you, Ferris.
That's a great name.
That's a really great name.
So Ferris says it doesn't just meander and ooze. It works with intention.
Yeah. So it leaves behind a trail of its own slime.
Okay.
So it knows where it's been. So when they do these tests,
it's like a snail.
Exactly like a snail. And they can tell where they've been already, so they don't repeat the places that they've gone. So that's why they can do mazes so efficiently, is because they kind of spread out all of these tendrils, and then it remembers where the dead ends were, and then it can repeat the maze, and it gets smarter when it does things over and over again. So it has a spatial memory, which is really crazy to me, because again, it has no
got
brain.
a brain.
Yeah.
And it's ancient.
It is so ancient, and it can do this with time as well. So when they will like impede its circumstances by like putting, by like making the room too cold at a certain amount of time, like 30-minute intervals, or just causing some kind of stress to its environment. It can remember like when that 30-minute interval happens. So they'll do it on 30-minute intervals, and like when that 30-minute period comes to an end, it starts to slow down its movement and like save its resources.
It's getting ready.
It knows that it's going to come. Yeah. And the other crazy maze experiment, which is like, I would say that this is the most common one, and the one that everyone that has heard me talk about this already has heard me mention, is the fact that it can recreate railway networks. Have you heard of this experiment?
No, I have not. Railway network.
Yeah. So,
all right. This is like, I'm intrigued.
Oh, my knuckle crack. I probably shouldn't do
that.
No,
we should do that on the radio.
Disturbing sound to some people.
There you go.
It's my thinking noise. So they feed it flakes of oats in the experiments. So they set up the oat flakes in the shape of, like the placement of them was in the same spots as different cities in Japan.
Yeah, that's how I used to eat my oats when I was a kid.
Exactly.
I said, Mom, I will not eat these oats.
You set them up in the map system.
Unless they're like my favorite map system, that of Japanese trains.
That's what it's for.
All right, wizard.
That's your first step to being a slime mold.
That explains a lot.
You're halfway there. And then it basically recreated the pattern of the Tokyo Railway network, because it knew the most efficient way from point A to point B, because it can figure that stuff out. And it's also done this for different highways in Canada and the UK.
That's great. So it's like its input data is the locations. And what it outputs is what the trains actually
so it
look
connects
like.
the nodes.
That's bonkers.
And the way that it connects the nodes was very similar to the way that we've set up our roads in those cities that they've done these kinds of experiments based on those maps.
That is so cool.
And I already lost my train of thought again.
Your train of thought. That's not very slime moldy of you. Slime mold keeps its train.
I hit the dead end, and I need to retreat, and I need to
follow your slime.
Follow it out
Follow
again.
your slime back a little.
So I was going to say that it's wild, because what took human beings like tens and I don't know, maybe even more years, like such a long time to figure out how to set these roads up, it could do in like 2 days. So they now know that it has this crazy skill. So I know that there's some places that have wanted to use that input data as a way to map future railway networks or highways or anything like that.
Start with those and put the nodes in and let the slime mold tell you what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Which another passion of mine is
15-minute
cities.
You're eliminated.
I'm limited to one passion
No, of
today.
course not. Of course not. Yeah,
They're all connected.
The controversial 15-minute city.
What is
controversial for some unknown reason?
I was just about to ask, why is it controversial?
It's
I know
crazy
that
to
some
me.
people don't like it.
It's crazy to me because they think
it makes so much more sense.
Because the conspiracy-minded folk believe that the 15-minute city is going to be a decree from on high.
Exactly.
And that you're gonna get a ticket and you're gonna be sent to the potash mines if you pretend that you live in a 20-minute city.
God forbid.
Which is very funny to me.
Yeah.
But
well,
and I endorse Wizard Show officially endorses 15-minute
the
cities.
stamp of approval.
I would love, and in fact, I'm moving downtown so that I can bike to get my groceries.
Exactly. So that's exactly what it is. Basically, for anyone who happens to not know, is a 15-minute city is just the idea that everything that you need can be accessed within 15 minutes of your time. Your job, groceries, the doctor, any kind of necessities you can get to within 15 minutes. And Guelph is a really good example of this because every single grocery store is in the South End. So everyone that lives downtown is limited to the overpriced health food, quote unquote, stores.
Yeah, you got your Goodness Me.
And you're
got
gonna go
your
bankrupt.
Yeah, you got your Market Fresh. You've got your empty wallet.
Yep.
That's how you just gotta reach my good friend Ethnic Supermarket.
Exactly.
And then grab yourself some good priced fruits and veggies.
For once in our lives,
exactly.
Yes. That would be incredible.
Kind of far away.
Yeah. But yeah, so another kind of tangent off of this is that, like, some people love the grid network of roads that, like, for example, like New York is like so famous for. But a lot of like European cities, mostly, or like, I don't know, even was it Kitchener that uses a lot of cul-de-sacs? Or sorry, not cul-de-sacs. I mean roundabouts.
Oh yeah,
that,
there are a bunch of roundabouts. We love roundabouts.
Going.
I love a good roundabout.
Because then you don't have to stop at a traffic light and
you're more alert.
You're idling and you're staying
so you don't
moving.
hit people.
Exactly. It kind of
roundabouts are way
distraction. Safer. So there's all these benefits to kind of like keeping traffic moving instead of always starting and stopping, and that kind of thing can come with a network that more accurately reflects the way that human beings move naturally. Mm-hmm. Do you know what an elephant path is?
Is it, I am just going to guess, just based on context clues.
Yeah.
Is it one of those little, like if there's a corner of sidewalk and then there's like a bit of grass in there, where you see just like a total zip line through of dirt?
What it is.
It's an elephant path.
Exactly, precisely. And the image that comes to mind, the elephant path that I pass by all the time is right by the downtown public library.
Yeah, I was thinking of the exact same one. I was thinking of the exact same one right out in front on the corner of Gordon and Paisley.
The downtown public library at Paisley and I can't remember, is that?
And Gordon, or like whatever Gordon is called over there.
Whatever it turns into. It's like 3 different roads, that one, but...
Isn't it Woolwich? Norfolk? Something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, exactly. It's
all just Gordon to me.
Path that humans have kind of made their own. So there's lots of examples of this where there's sidewalks running on right angles, but then, it's like the Pythagorean theorem kind of thing of like, this is the shortest distance. And people
we hit them with that hypotenuse.
Exactly. It's the hypotenuse. Exactly. It's the hypotenuse of urban infrastructure, basically. And yeah, so it makes a lot more sense to design cities based off of the ways that human beings move, the way that slime mold moves, rather than these borderline, like, I guess, almost corporately
oppressive
grid networks that are in an effort to, organize us and confine us.
Put us in a grid into boxes.
Exactly.
I wonder...
We want to get out of the boxes.
I have a thought.
Yes.
People, if you take a lot of people and you just set them off and you put a bunch of desirable, like, cornflakes or oats or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if people in numbers operate like slime mold.
I feel like they do in certain ways.
Intriguing.
Which brings me to several more points.
All right, excellent. Teed up.
One, the first pin is that someone has basically done this experiment. There's an artist who I'm going to look up the name of right now because I feel like this feels important. I think it's Heather Barnett. Okay. And she... did an experiment or like a basically a performance piece where she like loosely like connected people with like, I don't know, like these like belts and like carabiners and set up a network of people. She attached people at the hip.
Cute.
And got them to get to different locations around the campus or wherever they were doing this test to see how they would be able to think as a mass and as a group. They did a pretty good job. I don't have very many like findings or deductions from this. It's just an interesting
That's fun.
thing
That'd
to
be a
think
great
about.
time.
Everyone, it's like blob tag, you know?
Blob tag.
Like when you're playing tag, but then when you tag somebody, they join you and you have to hold hands
Well, that
or
sounds
link
great.
arms, and then now you're a blob that's chasing other.
Oh, I gotta start doing
People
blob
to
tag at
get them
outdoor
it.
school. That sounds dope.
Exactly, it's a good one.
Call it jelly mold tag.
Yeah, jelly mold tag, slime mold tag,
Yeah, slime mold.
Physarum
Jelly mold.
polycephalum tag.
Turn these kids into some dang.
Exactly.
What's the word again?
Which word?
The thing that science doesn't understand.
Protist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get these kids on that protist
tag.
Protist tag.
Exactly.
I like that.
But yeah, it was just a really interesting case study. If anyone is interested in looking it up, Heather Barnett has a TED Talk where she talks about how she works with slime mold in her art practice. And it's very interesting.
That is wicked. I'm going to look that up.
I can't really remember what the other thing I was going to say about... Oh, yeah. So if slime mold is the closest thing that I have to a god, the closest thing that I have to a Bible is Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown.
Whoa.
Which is a book that I have to my right here just in case I want to reference it. But
Oh, that'd be sweet. At some point, you could read us a passage.
I'll whip out a passage. I can do that.
Emergent. I was thinking about that word on the way here.
It's a great word. What does it mean to you?
Emergent?
Yeah, emergent, emergence.
What was the context I was thinking about? I was thinking about like emergent systems and how so much stuff. I was thinking about consciousness. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about how consciousness is like an emergent quality of matter. Mm-hmm. Everything is conscious.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, yeah, emergent. What a cool word. I wonder what you know what?
Are you gonna do the little?
We're gonna
a cheeky little.
We're gonna get on the. I can't believe this
What
has
is the
never
word
happened
again?
on the Passion Show. We're gonna get on Edom Online to look up the etymology of the word
Etymonline.
emergent.
Yeah, etymology. That was the word.
Yes,
I forgot
etymology for the listeners at home means like the origins of a word through history.
it. This is exactly where I wanted this to go.
We're gonna look up an emergent. But first, before I do this, I always like to guess.
To do a little guess.
To just think like emergent. We've got emerge, emerges, emergency.
Merging too.
Merging. Yeah, merge.
They're merging and they're emerging.
So I guess emerge. Okay, so we're on to something here.
I feel like it.
Yeah,
is
emergent.
exactly
Emergent has
what
to
it
be.
is.
Has to be. Yeah, the origin is going to be emergent and emergent. It's going to be like splitting.
Yeah.
I wonder what the emergency connection is there.
Okay. Yeah. True.
So okay, I've got it here.
That's
emergent.
how we behave in an emergency.
That's true.
I guess.
We emerge. An emergency is reality emerging from a standard plan.
T.
You know?
So true.
Yeah. There we go. Late 14th century, rising from what surrounds it, coming into view. From Latin, emergentum, present participle of emerge, to rise out, or see emerge. Okay, we have to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. Anyone just tuning in is like, what is happening? Emerge. To rise from or out of anything that surrounds, covers, or conceals. Come forth, appear. As from concealment. 1560s, from French emerger. And directly from Latin, emerge, emerger. So it's a direct, basically Latin to now. I love when words are like that. Bring forth, bring to light.
It hasn't needed to change in 600 million years.
Intransitively, arise, out or up, come forth, come up, come out, rise. This is so sick. From assimilated form of X, out, so E, plus merge, to dip, sink. So emerge is out of dipping, you know, unsink. See, merge, yeah, there we go. The notion is of rising from a liquid by virtue of buoyancy. So emergent there we go. Now I know what emergent means. We know the origins of emerge.
The
Emerge or
original
Latin.
definition that when I first heard the term emergence, the loose definition that I heard for it was, it's a lot of stupid things behaving together to be something smart.
Uh-huh.
So like one example of this is like every single cell in your body. It's like one of them alone is like kind of useless, but then it works with all of these other cells to,
To
make
create
an entire person,
emergent systems.
and to make an emergent system, to make a consciousness. Another good example is ants, because
ant
one
colonies.
of them,
Ants, just stupid little
they're
ants.
little guys.
Dumb. Brain the size of like a flake of sand. a half a
Ants
sand.
aren't stupid. Come on.
Dumb.
They're such cuties.
No, well, yeah, when you get a whole colony of them, you ever take one ant?
And then you get a whole colony,
I'm sure one
and
ant's
then they
fine.
make all these crazy ant hills, and again networks, which I feel like would probably closely mirror the patterns of slime mold.
You ever see A Bug's Life?
I honestly haven't.
You haven't seen A
Very
Bug's
out of
Life
character,
Pixar movie?
But I actually have not.
The ants in that movie, they're foolish until one special ant comes along, and his name is Flick.
Oh my gosh.
And Flick has a new idea. That movie's great.
What's his new idea?
His new idea is efficiency, and it's change. That movie's all about the bugs, the anthill. It's what's it called when you got a king and a queen? It's a monarchy. Mm-hmm. People are constantly living in fear of change, but Flick comes along and he wants to build machinery.
Oh man.
He basically wants to enact the Industrial Revolution for bugs, but on a small scale, on a more human scale. We find out in A Bug's Life that maybe through bugs we learn about humanity. They're not so much like actual ants in that movie at all. And so just some food for thought, dear listeners.
They're basically God, what is that word? Like anthropomorphized.
Exactly, they're anthropomorphized.
Oh my god. That's a whole other layer.
Yeah, it's just something to consider. Just something to mull over, dear listeners.
Something to mull over.
Think about the meaning of a bug's life,
So that was the tendril that we just went down because I brought up emergent strategy.
Emergent strategies, emergent property systems.
Which is the Bible to the slime mold being the
God. Yeah.
And this
certainly could be. I'm not. Who am I to say? Convince me.
And the core premise around the book is that the author, Adrienne Marie Brown, who does a lot of social activism work and is a renowned facilitator and also a doula and a bunch of crazy other things. She's an incredible multi-hyphenate person.
What a combo.
She examines social structures in nature to give us inspiration on how to organize as human beings and social structures as
biomimicry.
People. Yeah, exactly. Which is, specifically something that she references. So she studies mycelium, ants,
nice,
ferns, because they're fractals.
Ferns are amazing. I love a good fern.
Exactly.
Magic.
And wave particle dualities referred to. Another big one is starlings, because they move in murmurations. Do you know what a murmuration is?
I've heard it. I've seen murmurations in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Give me the DL. I've never known a deep explanation of murmurations.
It's flock activity. So she writes, the synchronized movement patterns of a starling flock are called murmurations. Uh-huh. Starling murmurations can react to their environment as a group without a central leader orchestrating their choices. So in any instant, any part of the flock can transform the movement of the whole flock, and it represents collective leadership and partnership and adaptability.
The movements are beautiful.
Exactly.
Watching
They're so stunning.
a murmuration of starlings is like a beautiful
Highly recommend
vision.
Looking up a murmuration as well.
We're going to get some of those in the spring.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
But spring is coming. Listeners, hang in there. We're almost there.
It's so close.
You're going to be listening to this towards the end of February. And just hold out another month and we're going to be in the clear. March is going to come around to melt.
It's a good thing that it's February too, because it's the shortest month of the year.
It's just
and
a short little month.
It really flies by. It's
just a short little month. It's like nothing.
It's so little.
Yeah. It's like 3 weeks exactly.
So the way that she relates the murmurations to people, or at least one of the frameworks that she kind of puts it under, is that the relevancy is that you're staying separate enough not to crowd each other, but aligned enough to maintain a shared direction, and cohesive enough to always move towards each other. So, I mean, you can kind of probably connect the dots a little bit on how that can
How you could
improve our social networks
Yeah.
and the ways that we organize and relate to each other as people. It's basically a dance, and it's just like, if you look at the videos of it, it's so, yeah, exactly as she said, like they're so close together, but they're not running into each other, and they're like maintaining enough separate space, but they're basically dancing together. And another tangent that I might go off on here is that this
feel free.
feels a lot like mosh pits,
Oh yeah.
which is a great example of collective human behavior. Which mosh
Love a
pits
good mosh.
literally function
Like a murmuration?
People have, like a murmuration, and also like a gas, like particles in a gas. The way that it expands and like circles, like there's, because you can
Yeah,
go
it's funny.
down all
It's
the,
funny
like,
how
circle
a mosh
pits
pit
and-
will like fill the space it's in.
Yeah, and like there's ways to do it wrong, right?
It's true.
Have you ever been in a bad mosh pit compared to a good?
It's been a
mosh
long
pit?
time since I've been in a bad mosh pit.
I have
lucky
like
enough.
I've been in many a mosh pit.
Yeah,
and
of
I feel
course.
like I've had takeaways
Likewise.
from a lot of them.
Tell me about, what does a bad mosh pit feel like?
A bad mosh pit, in my opinion, like at least one part of a bad mosh pit is that people are not reading each other. You're probably starting it in an area of the crowd where other people are not responding to your desire to start the mosh pit. So it's not a collective unit. It's selfish. So you're running into people and jumping at people who don't want to participate. The whole point of a mosh
Consent
pit
is a
that
big
it's
deal in a
consensual.
mosh pit.
Yeah.
A big deal.
And mutually supportive, because the beauty of mosh pits is that people might get knocked down. I once had my glasses knocked off my face.
Oh man,
and
I've seen that happen in a pit
everybody
before. That's
around
brutal.
me pushed and was like, back up, and they immediately they were smashed to bits, but they were found. Yeah, that's.
And when someone falls down in the pit, it's like immediately
a million of
pop
hands,
them up.
Yeah, reaching out to grab somebody. So those are some examples of a good mosh pit. Is that it's mutually supportive. You're looking out for each other, and you're
just the
reading
opposite
each
of
other.
that.
And a bad mosh pit would be the opposite of that. You're probably starting it in the wrong place, and you're not around other people who want to be participating.
The intentions are impure.
Exactly. I mean, that's how people get trampled. Like, they can be dangerous.
Crowd crushed. But a good pit is just like a magical place to be.
Exactly.
Because you can just sort of, you can sort of get your brain into a more primal mode and
You're an
just exist
individual.
physically in a
But your individuality kind of like disappears.
Exactly.
Because now you're in a whole, and your movements are being dictated by other people.
Yeah, very embodied and aware.
Very embodied, yeah.
Just because you're not thinking about stuff, you're just being music. That's why I get no one moshes when there isn't music.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, you can. It's a little bit hard though.
That sounds
to
like
really
a nightmare.
Get into it. It doesn't sound quite.
It doesn't
as
sound
fun.
like a fun time to me. You gotta have music. Music is the answer. That's what we're always saying.
Have you seen Woodstock '99?
Oh yeah.
Do you know the part? I can't remember who it was. It might have been Limp Bizkit. But he's talking about how you can he got into this place where he felt like he was orchestrating the entire crowd by like moving his hand up and down and like seeing the whole crowd moving with him.
That's so sick.
And that the crowd was so big that you could see the sound wave in the crowd because the people at the front were receiving the beat earlier than the people in the back. So you
would react to stuff like that.
Yeah, so if you look at the footage that he's referring to, you can see the crowd is undulating as a whole in the shape of a sound wave.
That's amazing.
Which drives me nuts. I think that's so nuts. And there were so many flaws to that. It was a very interesting documentary. Another good case study of a civilization rising and falling within 3 days. It's relevant in some form, but I won't get too deep into that that network tendril. I don't know. I think we got a little bit off track. Not in a bad way, but that's a bit about emergent strategy.
Emergent strategy. We're running it back.
And
we're right back.
connecting to mosh pits and collective behavior and flocking.
Exactly. Flocking, murmuration, starlings.
And this is because you said biomimicry.
Biomimicry, that's right.
So this is the definition that she applies for biomimicry. Biomimetics or biomimicry is the imitation of the models, systems, and elements of nature for the purpose of solving complex human problems. I'll let that sink in.
What a great concept. Something to think about.
Yeah, I think it really
got a flawed system. Look home.
Exactly.
Turn your eyes towards the great forest.
Look at your neighbor.
Look up.
Shake each other's hands.
Be here now, people.
Be here now.
Come on.
Ram Dass said it best.
Ram Dass knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on. And here's another line that she writes is, chaos is an essential process that we need to engage. So, I don't know. That just feels mosh pit-y.
Chaos is can you repeat that?
Chaos is an essential process that we need to engage.
All right, chaos.
We're embracing the chaos.
We love chaos.
Chaos is inevitable. Entropy.
Yeah.
It is a very buzzword-heavy
Yeah, no, these are all great
session.
words. These are all great words. But the slime mold, when it's expanding, it starts from entropy. Like that's its beginning.
Yeah, I would say so. It just moves, and it moves outward.
For the listeners at home, entropy is like basically another word for chaos.
Yes.
It's a little different, but it's like a thermodynamics thing.
And it's inevitable.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember when my philosophy teacher in high school was explaining entropy to us, somebody was like, well, what about when you clean your room? You're organizing, like you're reducing entropy. And he was like, yeah, but you're taking up energy and like you're going to start sweating and then you need to drink water and eat food. So like you're still expending energy. So there's still chaos continuing even though outwardly you're like cleaning and organizing
and now the history of your room has now become more entropic.
Exactly.
There's yet another little moment and no one's cleaning the room perfectly.
Exactly.
You've added more context to your room.
Yeah.
Every item is now in a new place.
And you could even think about, that like filter that people, that exists where it like shows the trail of something moving, like left behind. Like, can you imagine that? Of like, I don't know, if I move my hand, you can see the trail that's left behind it, kind of like in pictures that's stuck, like staccato in
like
frames.
like a ghost trail.
Yeah. So you can kind of even like imagine
an after image. Yeah. There you go.
You can kind of even imagine that, like, if you had, like, if you recorded yourself, and I've thought about doing this before, of, like, recording yourself, like, cleaning your room, you can see the paths that everything takes and all those trails that are left behind. I think that's another way that slime mold kind of exists in our day-to-days, even though that's, like, invisible trails.
Yeah, we're leaving slime trails everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Think about your whole day, listeners. It's 9 o'clock at night. You're driving your car.
And don't even get me started on chemtrails.
Yeah, you're leaving chemtrails behind. And you can track that back to the day you were born.
Exactly.
That's the chaos of your life. You can't clean your room good enough to undo that chaos. And but we need the chaos. We love the chaos. That's why we only exist, because we leave these long lines.
Exactly. I've seen a video where somebody applied that kind of filter to a video of a murmuration, where you can see like the paths of all the individual birds, and it's just so stunning. It's such a cool way to like think about seeing things. For example, and another example I have for this is, which I've been watching a lot of video game playthroughs lately.
Nice. Let's go.
And I recently watched Until Dawn playthrough. Do you know that game?
That's like a PS4 game, right?
Sure. I don't know anything about the
consoles.
Or
it's like a story game, right?
It is a story
it's like a
game.
horror
It is pretty horror-y, but like it's...
All right. I vaguely remember hearing about this game.
In the beginning of it, it shows when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, like that's basically slime mold. So it shows like all of these paths and choices and options.
Okay.
But then, because it was in the period where it was explaining the mechanics of the game, that like the decisions that you make will alter the ending that you receive as the player. Which again, like we're getting meta, that's life.
That's life.
So you'll see like the path going, and then it hits a node where like it has 2-3 different forks. And then it'll like go down one of the fork, and that opens it up to several new forks. And then each fork that you take will take you to different forks than if you took a different path, if that makes any sense.
No, it totally makes sense.
And that kind of like reflects the network of slime mold and also mycelium. Like they're very interchangeable in terms of like what you can learn from them, I think. And the other one I've been rewatching is The Last of Us. Oh,
iconic game. I played that on the PS3 when I was a child.
Exactly, yeah.
And now it's been re-released 1 bazillion times.
Yes, and it's so beautiful.
We had someone bring this game up on a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Chris Green.
Oh, of
big
course.
Last of Us fan, believe it or not.
I can see that.
So,
It's
yeah,
big
right.
apocalypse hours.
Oh yeah. He's prepping. He's gonna be ready.
He would be ready.
He's got a whole school ready to go for when that happens.
An army of small children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A community of connected human people.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. And we're all part of that community. The passion murmuration is part of that.
Exactly.
So you were watching The Last of Us, which is
Yeah.
all about mushrooms.
Because that's kind of like, that's how the cordyceps like affects your brain. Like that's how they show it moving is very like the way that affects you is, I don't know, it happens in your brain again similarly in that pattern. I just find it so interesting to think about like something in the natural world like being the infectant. Like I think that's what makes it different from any other zombie game is like it's like natural. It
Something
feels
in the
almost,
world,
like,
yeah.
plausible.
And in that game, you'll see a lot of zombie cordyceps creatures who are like connected to the wall.
Yeah,
And they have to like rip
you can
themselves
see
out.
the
It's so
network
cool.
that has literally stuck them like into themselves.
I hope that's what happens to me one day.
I hope that's the way that
That'd
it
be pretty
goes.
sweet. You brought up 2 video games. Can I bring up 2 video games?
Yes, please.
That I'm just inspired to think of in all this. One of the games I'm thinking of now is Super Meat Boy. Have you ever heard of this game?
I don't think I have.
Super Meat Boy is a game where you play as a little boy who is made of meat, a super schmeat boy. And you're trying to save your girl, a bandaged girl. And you have to run through, it's like a 2D platformer like Mario.
Classic, yeah.
And you have to run through these levels that are like outrageously difficult with like saws and like needles and all of that sort of stuff that meat doesn't
Terrifying.
want to touch.
Yeah, okay.
Like salt. There's a salt level. And and often these levels will take you like dozens and even hundreds of attempts to beat. And the amazing thing in this game, there's something that like makes it for me, is that when you beat a level, it shows you every single one of your tries at the same time.
That's very murmuration.
It's
That's
so
very
murmuration.
Slime
It's like extremely simple because you see
yeah.
all the little angle and you see all the
Every single attempt.
all the variations.
Yeah.
But from your first, because you're starting off in the same place. All 200 of your attempts start in the same place.
That
but then
breaks my brain.
you always jump in a slightly different place.
Yeah.
And then the variation expands as it goes out because now, after the first jump, all 200 of your guys are landing somewhere a little bit different. And then they
Yeah.
jump again. Now they're a little different. And then they start dying, you know?
Yeah.
50 of them hit this spike. 50 of them hit that spike. And only one of your little guys is going to expand out
Yeah.
to Bandage Girl and save her.
And that's the path that we are walking.
Exactly.
Because we're going to make it out.
And so that's thing number 1 that I'm reminded of.
Thank you for bringing that. That's very relevant.
Of course. It's
Thank
a
you.
great game. It's a very
That's
good one of my
excellent.
favorite artists of all time, Edmund McMillan, made
Shout
that
out
game.
Edmund.
Edmund is a brilliant artist. And I'm going to now talk about game number 2.
Game number 2, please bring it on.
which is called Spelunky.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't.
This is another one of my favorite artists of all time, Derek Yu. Like absolute goat genius. Just like absolute like brilliant individual. And the way this game works is you're spelunking. It's another one of these 2D platformers like Mario. And you're just a little guy. You're trying to go down. All right, that's all you want to do. Every level is just go down.
You're going into the cave.
You're going into the cave. But this game is 100% built around the idea of emergent systems, like we were talking about, where everything in the game can interact with everything else. And everything, as a result of that, a million different things can happen. And the game builds itself new every time you play it. Based on certain rules.
What do you mean builds itself new?
I mean, it's like a randomly made game from pieces. It's sort of hard to explain, but it's sort of just like life. Every time you get born, you have a whole new life ahead of you. We got a knock on the door. This has never happened before. Not in the whole history of the Passion Show has this happened.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I don't know. A mystery.
What just happened? That's crazy. I'm not cutting this. I don't know who was out there.
This is real.
Someone just knocked on the door and said hi, and then closed the
Well,
door.
she asked if we were recording, and then I said yes.
Oh,
She
okay.
laughed.
All right. Fair. I hope they don't have anything in here. We've only got another 10 minutes to record, so if they But also, I have this room booked until 10 p.m.
So I think we're safe.
I think
I think we're safe.
that's really funny.
They'll find their way.
They'll find their way. I trust they'll be part of the, we're in a murmuration with them.
Exactly.
With that poor human being who just, yeah, we're recording. Oh. Man, I'm so thrilled. I was talking about Spelunky. Emergent, this life is an emergent system. We're spelunking.
Uh-huh.
And we just had a funny interaction with someone, just like Spelunky.
Perfect.
It's hard to explain the totality of how brilliant that game is. I'd say I recommend everyone just play it.
Recreates the game.
It's because it's like, so there are it's made on a grid, and there are every part of the grid can be a different thing. Mm-hmm. It can be ground, or it can be air, or it can be water, or it can be an enemy.
Okay.
Or it can be a little arrow trap. Think Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Or it can be a shop. It can be anything.
They all have the potential.
Every spot has the potential to be anything. And all of those things exist with each other. So like an example is there are arrow traps. Mm-hmm. If you get in front of an arrow trap, it'll shoot you with an arrow.
Okay.
Right? But because everything in the game is the same, everything is treated the same, if an enemy gets in front of that arrow trap, it can also get shot with an arrow.
Okay.
And so there are all these, and that's just like 1% of the complexity of the systems that just arise in this game from a bunch of simple to understand things. And it's brilliant because it's like that's what art can be.
Yeah. That's like the way that I first was able to explain my writer's block and my creative blocks is that I was paralyzed by the fact that every single thing that I made could have been anything else. Uh-huh. And I was talking to my professor about this once because I was in a philosophy of art class and that's what I wanted to write about.
Analysis paralysis.
Exactly that. And he was kind of trying to reframe it for me and be like, well, that's also kind of like the beauty of it, right? Is that it can be anything. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I wrote my paper on is that every single choice, had it been different, would have made something else. And that something I learned in that class was that the distinction between a crafts person and an artisan or a crafts like a carpenter or something and an artist is that a crafts person has blueprints and they have something to execute and they know what it's going to be, they know what it's going to look like or what it's supposed to be. But an artist, you have an idea but you don't necessarily have an exact way that it's going to look, even if you have an idea of what you want it to be. Because
you're communicating with it telepathically through the art realm.
Exactly.
you have to listen to it. We used to talk about this a lot in the first handful of episodes of this show about an artist. You got to listen.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the art. The art exists
and the paths that it takes you on. Right?
Exactly. You got to follow it. And I think artists can learn a lot from carpenters, and carpenters can probably learn from artists.
Oh my God, so much so.
But we could stand to have a plan about certain things and to trust process.
Yeah, to let yourself make a choice and then see what choice you want to make after that choice because of that choice, and then you just keep going. And isn't that life?
Just like a slime mold.
Just like
the slime mold just chooses a way to go. Slime mold doesn't get all in its head about
it's not thinking
about chaos.
It has no brain.
It listens to it. It sees the maze. It's like, I'm gonna attack this maze.
Exactly.
It's like, I went the wrong way. Time to go back.
It's just like dancing.
Or just like dancing. Exactly. Or like being in a mosh pit. Everything is everything. Yeah. Complex systems are always we're always talking about this stuff on this show.
Because somatic movement is another thing that slime mold makes me think of, where you're kind of just letting your body do what it needs to do. And if you think about the air or the space around you as something that you're interacting with and through, you can see those trails that happen too, that when your body moves, it leaves certain paths and carves certain paths, and I don't know.
Yeah, we all leave behind a trail of destruction or change.
Yeah.
We can
carve those paths.
It's funny, yeah, destruction and what's the opposite? Obviously the opposite of destruction is creation. We all just leave behind just a series of landmarks and checkpoints of here's something I created, here's something I destroyed.
Yeah. footprints. Or,
Exactly.
Yeah, fingerprints almost.
Everyone who sends me a message on Instagram.com @wizard.collective and hops on the Passion Show, on that day you get to leave behind a legacy of creation and not destruction. And that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
That's @wizard.collective, everyone. Smack that follow button. Send me a DM. You don't even need to be on the show if you don't want to. And trust me, it's okay to not want to be on the show. Being on the radio is hard.
It's definitely weird, and I'm definitely confused and nervous.
But you've
I'm
been
also
killing
safe,
it. This is a top tier show. We're carving new paths.
Yeah.
We're making our way through entropy. And I hope that everyone who's listening to this, I hope you all wait until you're not driving your car anymore. And then you go on your phone and you type in @wizard.collective and you hit me up and tell me what you're passionate about.
Because everything is connected.
I want to know. I want to be part of that network. And I spent the first 6 months of my radio show mentioning how to get in touch with me 0 times, foolishly. And I think about the amount of missed nodes, the slime mold, the little piles of oats that this moldy show is not able to touch. And it just makes me sad. So now I'm saying go to there. My website is on there as well. I can't say the name of my website yet because it has my real name in it. And for some reason, not saying my real name has become part of this show.
I understand.
Although it's not technically a secret, If any of you people go to @wizard.collective, you can easily discover my real name. And but on the radio, it's Wizard. In real life, it's the name. I've beeped it out once. Isn't that funny? Beep. On the Chris Green episode.
That's so funny.
Because he calls me my real name.
Yeah,
He's perhaps the only person in this entire city who refers to me by my legal name.
Weird.
Yeah, right?
That's so bizarre.
And people who aren't me, when he says that, they're like, who are you talking about? As a joke, as in stop calling him that. But hey, he signs my paychecks and my paychecks say my real name.
I guess he's
unfortunately
it's right in front of him.
No, I'm never gonna change my. People have asked me if I would legally change my name to Wizard. No chance. Because I need some earthen connection.
Yeah, I get that.
Or some. I can't flow off entirely into Wizard space.
You need an anchoring.
I need an anchor exactly to my childhood roots, and that's gonna be my legal name. I've decided.
And that's one of your trails.
That's one of my trails. Yeah, that's a trail left behind. But enough about me. Speaking of name changers, we have lots of name changers on the show.
Oh my god.
Name changing is kind of the go.
It really is. It's so weird to have sounds be connected to you being a person.
I think about this all the time. How it's just a simple word is communicates the totality of my being.
Why does my head
or it tries
to turn when someone says some random noises and syllables?
I always, whenever people are talking about lizards, I'm like, what?
What'd you say about me?
I'm like, never mind. So that's kind of funny.
Can I go on one more tangent?
Yeah, we have 4 minutes.
We have 4 minutes. Okay.
And then we're going to do the ending bit of the show. And then we're out of here.
So I'm going to do quick jot notes.
All right, perfect.
Which is, one of them is that Octavia Butler, which is a really, really great science fiction writer, a femme queer science fiction writer, was very inspired by slime mold in her writings. There are some notes that somebody found and wrote an essay on.
Octavia Butler.
Yeah, so she does lots of gender bending stuff, like relationships look very different. It's quite alien. She has a lot of different worlds, but I think the most
friend of mine just lent me a sci-fi book that might have been inspired by this called The Left Hand of Darkness.
That's Ursula Le Guin, right?
That's right.
Which I also have a couple notes about Le Guin, but I wanted to start with Butler.
Okay, we start with Butler.
She has a book called The Pattern Master, which basically the pattern in this book is the network of consciousnesses of people connected. And there is a pattern master who can send out messages throughout the pattern.
Sweet.
So there's this ruler or leader called the pattern master who communicates with the pattern, which is built up of all of the people and their consciousnesses. And you can feel like you're close to somebody in the pattern, like when you meet somebody, and you can just tell that you're close to each other in the pattern. So that's, when you meet somebody and you can just tell that you get along or have some kind of
I know that feeling
overlap in common. So her work, I think, is really also relevant to what slime mold can teach us about the world and how it can look. And
but believe it or not, my nickname in high school is actually the Pattern Master.
No way.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. That's just something I say.
You've always been wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
And something I love about Ursula, I haven't read Ursula K. Le Guin yet, but I really, really want to.
I mean, neither. The book is just sitting on my record player.
Yeah.
Just sitting there crying.
She's talked a bit about how human communication could learn something about amoeba and their pseudopodia, which is like the little, they're blobby, like if they reach out a blobby tendril arm and they can connect to each other, like if you imagine like a mitosis diagram kind of thing, like of them connected by a strand. I have a diagram in front of me, but I don't really know how to explain
another
that.
classic passion show moment.
With
trying
my
to
words
communicate
right now.
a visual image to our poor audio listeners.
But
they can picture that. Imagine two blobs connected by a string.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. It's two blobs connected by bits of their blob. And she basically writes that they are literally giving each other inner bits of their body via a channel or bridge which is made up of their outer bits of their bodies, so that we can learn about this in the ways that we communicate, rather than, which her first diagram was basically two boxes with a tube connecting the two of them. So it's a bit more mechanically minded, rather than like we are like moving together and like I am giving you bits of my inner world and you're giving
communication
them back.
is a physical thing in a sense.
Yeah.
Or it's wise to think about it that way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are my last two little notes on like things to look into to keep going with how cool Slimemold is.
We read Ursula, we read Octavia Butler.
And
we read who is this again?
Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown.
The text, the base text.
Yes,
the
I
base
would say
to
so.
text that is. And that lands us perfectly at the end of the show. Actually,
can I end with a very short poem that I wrote
my Lord.
about Slimemold?
Everyone is poets, and I love it. Yeah, go crazy.
Okay, so this is a poem that I wrote just thinking about basically every single tangent that we have gone on today.
All right, let's hear it.
Slime mold is not a fungus, but a unicellular organism that behaves as a community. Attention deficit hyperactivity is not a disorder nor a deficit, but a surplus. Biking is a way of learning that reaching dead ends helps us practice pruning. Infrastructure must be reflective of emergent strategy. The way we learn within is the way we travel without, dancing to find our boundaries, constantly shifting. Railways could have been built in a day if we trusted new forms of life. Opportunity is found in embodiment through the pulse of life. And empathy towards non-living entities expand our sense of what is smart and of what is alive. Thank you so much for having me.
That's beautiful. Now we're going to end the show in the way we always do. I'm going to say something I'm grateful for. You're going to say something you're grateful for. Then we're going to sign off.
Okay, great.
I'm grateful today for slime mold. Grateful for communication. Grateful for this city that we live in. And I'm grateful for the radio. You know, the radio is sort of like slime mold. It expands and covers.
Very much so.
The city.
The nodes being like cell towers.
Bingo.
Or the transmitting towers and the waves that go between them.
Exactly. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for slime mold too. I am also grateful for the city we live in. I'm grateful for the documentary called Creeping Garden, which I didn't get a chance to get into, but it's another great resource about slime mold and all the research that people have done on them. I'm so grateful for you having me on this show and following all of the tangents that we could go on. And
here we are.
So grateful to get to dance through this life with all of the people that I do.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
My name is Wizard.
My name is MISHA.
Only love can stop the killing. Until next time.